In this demonstration, I'll give you a quick overview of PSICapture's extended file format module. So the EFF module is an add-on to PSICapture which lets you bring in, capture, import any type of non-image file. So Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, presentations, AutoCAD files, any of those types of files can be ingested into the system either manually or through an auto import process. Metadata extracted from file name, folder. You can run database lookups based off file name elements, and then route that document and that set of metadata into the backend system. So it's a very powerful add-on and really allows folks to migrate just about any type of document into their backend repository. So let's go ahead and take a look at how the system actually works. And to start off, what I'm going to do is just give you an example of how you can enable your users to have hot folders on the desktop. Okay, so in this example, I've got a series of emails that I want to archive, in this case, into SharePoint. And I've got a hot folder on my desktop. And that hot folder can contain subfolders. And the way that PSICapture works, your users can actually add subfolders which can add to the metadata. So if I drop something into a customer or a competitive folder, it'll carry that metadata through to the backend system and give you a standardized way of adding those elements. So in this case, I can go ahead and highlight multiple emails, grab them, and in this example, these are just alerts that I received, and I'll go ahead and drop them into my alerts bucket. Now, in the alerts folder, you'll see the files will sit there for a second. Then once the auto processor kicks in, it'll pick up, bring those into the process, and then send them to my SharePoint repository. Now, just for illustration purposes, I'm actually going to drop some of these into my other folders as well, just so you can see how we can automatically build structure on the back end. You can see my alerts have already gone. My competitive and my marketing are sitting there, and they'll be processed momentarily. So I'm doing this with email. I can drag attachments in there. I can drag the entire email, and those will be carried through. But note, I can do this with any type of file. So if I'm a law firm that has case files that I want to route into SharePoint or FileBound or any of my backend systems that I use, I can do that by setting up this type of structure. Okay, so it's a real nice way to give users some power at their desktop. So you can see they've all gotten picked up now. So let's go ahead and browse here into my site, and I'm going to refresh my site. And you'll see that as the process continues, it's automatically building folder structures based on metadata into my SharePoint library. So in this library now, I can click on my alerts subfolder, and I actually told PSICapture, as you migrate and create information in the repository, I want you to build a folder structure with the deposit folder, the year, the month, and then name the files with the parent folder, with the email subject line, and then with a time date stamp. And you can see that I also populated metadata columns. So now, real easy way to send not only image files, but non-image files into a backend system through the auto import process. Okay? So that is an automated process. And this can be done through hot folders, very simple to set up. The other type of feature that I can do, and this is one that we've had quite a bit of demand for, is I can actually use either an auto import process or a manual import process to bring in entire folder structures. So if I've got a pre-existing network share with 10,000 types of files, or 10,000 files that I want to bring in, process, and route to a backend system, I can do that really quickly and easily. So in this example, I'll go ahead and expand some things here and show you. PSICapture has the ability to pick up individual files, and you can see that I've got here some individual AutoCAD drawings. I've also got some, let's see, Within my subfolders, you can see that I've got some Word documents. I've got some planning worksheets, so some spreadsheets, and I want to bring all this into the system. Now, I could pick these up one by one, which would be quite painful, or I can use the document harvesting capability that comes with PSICapture. I can check Select by Directory, include subfolders, click Capture, and you'll see that we're off to the races. Now I'm doing a couple things here. You'll see as I bring in my files, I'm actually auto-extracting metadata from the file name as well as from the folder structure that I parse and grab from. So I'll grab the parent folders and populate fields. Now this metadata, once I'm done and I click complete, will actually allow me in my backend to automatically build not only metadata fields, but also a nice pretty folder structure. So in this example, within SharePoint, the parent folders that I had in that master folder there on my drive was Server 2012 and SharePoint 2013. And as I drill in, you can see PSICapture auto-built the folder structure. And then it custom names the files and auto-populates my columns. So now I've got a document in the repository, metadata columns populated, nice and easy. Okay. Now you can do that, as I mentioned, manually, but you can also set up PSICapture, point it at a directory, and turn on auto processing, and never even have to look at the GUI. It'll pick up, auto import all the files and do that for you, which is quite handy if you've got a very large repository you want to migrate over the weekend or over a certain time period. Okay. So that's the EFF module. If you have any questions, shoot a note to sales@PSIGEN.com, or you can go to our website at PSIGEN.com. Thanks for your time.